Hi everyone, welcome to another video announcement, one of our last for the semester. As I keep saying, the semester has really gone by quickly, as it usually does by this point in time. We've got a lot of things in the air and a lot of things yet to do, so hopefully you can keep all those balls juggled well and not drop any at the end. We've got just a couple more weeks of this class to go, and I'm encouraged with the work you've done already, and hopefully you can continue strong to the end. As you know, in our Module 13, I'm asking you to look at our program outcomes and kind of talk about those in a journal, listing those, how you feel you've done in meeting the outcomes. There's no wrong answer or right answer for that. It just helps us to know, as myself as a teacher and our program in a larger sense, of how we're doing, making you aware of those outcomes, and how you feel that you've been prepared to have those skills and knowledge by the time you graduate. As well, in this module, we have a pretty important section about our e-portfolios. Your e-portfolio is due by Sunday, and remember, that's kind of a two-part assignment. The first part is just to submit your e-portfolio link to the Blackboard assignment, as you usually do for assignments. So if you log into your Digication site, the link that comes up at the top of your browser, just copy and paste that into your assignment, and that's all you need to do for the Blackboard side of it. In Digication, I'm also asking you to upload each of the pages you've created for the 6 MDS outcomes as assignments in Digication. There's a handout in our module about how to do that, but basically, once you're in your ePortfolio site, if you click on the Home button, which is where you usually start when you log in anyway, you'll see a list of the courses that Digication has you enrolled in at Boise State this semester. One of those will be MDS 400. They look like folders, and they're about midway down the home page. So if you click on MDS 400, once you get in there, you'll see some tabs near the top. Click on the Assignment tab, and then once you see that, you will see that there are 6 different assignments. When each of those assignments, the first step is called My Evidence, and click on each of those in order. So if you start with Program Outcome 1, you'll click on My Evidence for that, and then you'll submit the evidence, which is the page that you've created for that Program Outcome number 1, which is problem solving. The way you do that is, once you click on My Evidence, you'll see a few different ways to upload. You want to upload part of your ePortfolio, so you'll click on the ePortfolio tab, and then from there you can click next to the name of your ePortfolio, and it will then show you all the pages of your ePortfolio. Click on the one that corresponds to Program Outcome 1, that has your artifact that you've uploaded, your justification, and the assignment language for that outcome. And then once you've selected that, in the box on the left of that page, you'll just scroll down a little bit and click on Save and Submit, and it's just that easy. You'll notice that there's some codes that Digication gives. S just means that it's waiting for you as a student to submit evidence. Once you've submitted that evidence, that S will change to a C, which means you've completed that assignment. So you have to do that for each of the 6 outcomes, kind of making sure you match up the right page from your ePortfolio to the right assignment outcome. And once you're done with that, you can submit your ePortfolio as a whole just by clicking on Save and Submit on the ePortfolio assignment, which you'll see at the very bottom. So in addition to just giving me your URL link in Blackboard, you do need to go into Digication and submit assignments like that. I know some of you have already been doing that, and that's great. One other thing to point out is, if you're using any of our final assignments that, of course, we haven't quite finished yet for outcomes, be sure that you talk about that in your justification sentence for that program outcome, and even the assignment language. Make sure you upload my instructions for that assignment so that I can see that you're intending to put that final assignment in there when it's done. Then in the last week of class, you'll have to add that assignment and then resubmit those outcomes to Digication, following just the same explanation that I just gave you. So just to keep that in mind, you're very welcome and actually encouraged to submit some of those final assignments for MDS 400, because we do feel like those should be some of your best work in your last semester here, and they're large enough assignments that they would do well as outcome evidence. So feel free to leave those place markers, but make sure that I know when you upload your assignments into Education this week that that's what you're intending to do. And then, as I said again, in Module 16, I'll remind you to go ahead and submit that final piece of artifact evidence and then resubmit those assignment sections in Education. Coming up in Module 14, we have another important thing that we're doing, and that's peer reviewing our capstone assignments. So if you've done a project, you're going to go back into your groups as your project groups, and depending on what order you submit in, you'll go 2 by 2. The earliest 2 submissions are the first 2 to peer review each other, and so on down as people add their capstone assignments. So whether you're doing a project or a paper, just submit everything that you would submit to me next week on the group discussion boards. Then your peer reviewer is going to look those over, look at the rubric that I'll be using to kind of assess your assignment, and give their own opinion on where you might be able to do some more work or strengthen your assignment, so that by the time you submit it next week, it'll be really ready to go. Once you have reviewed your peer's assignment, the results that you've reviewed, please submit that to the class discussion board, not back in the groups. And the reason I ask that is so that everyone in the class can see what everyone else is doing, so that they can see what great work we've done, whether it's a project or a paper, and we can kind of look at each other's work. And also the person that you've peer reviewed can find what you've done, the comments you've left, so they can make their paper better. So once you finish the peer review, be sure to post your results on the class discussion board. So I think that's the main thing we're doing in Module 14. I want to give you a lot of time to kind of work on that. You do need to have your own assignment posted in your group area by Thursday, so that other students have time to look at it before the end of Module 14. And then, as I said, by the end of Module 15, you'll turn that into me. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. I know this is kind of a long video announcement, but hopefully you listened all the way to the end. And if I don't hear from you, definitely see you online. Thanks.